Hey guys, what's going on? Cody from Mad Vapes Easily here. Today I'm just going to be showing you a really basic coil build on an RDA. This is just to get you used to kind of building. You can follow this video along while you build. Hopefully it'll help you out. But we're just going to dive right into it. What you're going to need is a little bit of wire, of course, and then a 3mm screwdriver. You can use smaller if you'd like, but I just prefer the 3mm. Take your wire and then put it against your screwdriver and just hold your thumb down on one of your leads and then just start wrapping. And you want those wraps as close together as possible. 6, 7. All right. So we're going to do 7 wraps on this one, and this is 22 gauge. Just depending on what gauge you use will depend on how many wraps you need. So for 22, 7's pretty good. It ohms out around a 0.12, 0.15, just somewhere around there. But let me just wrap another one real quick, and I'll show you one more time. But like I said, you just want to take the wire and then hold it with your thumb against the screwdriver and then start doing your wraps close together as possible. And you want, when you do 2 coils, you just want them as uniform as possible. You want them to look exactly alike. That way they fire evenly and everything like that. All right. So once you get that done, we're going to dive right down onto this RDA here. And the RDA that we're building on today is the Doge V3 from Vape. I really like this RDA. It's got a deep hole juice well on it, so you can hold plenty of juice. It's got a lot of really good airflow, and there's actually flavor on it. Something that impressed me off of it as compared to the previous Doges, I just feel like I get a lot more flavor off of it, so that's nice. But what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 coils right here, and what I like to do is I like to put 1 lead in here and 1 lead on the opposite side of the center post. And what that does is it just kind of helps you center it a little bit. It kind of auto centers it where you don't have to shift it too much. I mean, we're still going to be doing a little bit of shifting, but that removes most of the struggle of doing it. So once I get it in there, I'm just going to take my screwdriver and hold it as level and horizontal as possible, just about right where I want it. And then I'll take my other screwdriver and I'm just going to tighten these down here. And holding the coil with the screwdriver keeps the coils from moving too much. It keeps them from spreading out or anything like that. And it just helps you get it to that final position that you want it at. But now that we got that in there, what we're going to do is you want to clip your leads. And you can use either clippers or nail clippers even work because they can get pretty close to the post. But your biggest thing is you just want to clip as close to the post as possible when you're clipping off your wire. You don't want any excess wire poking out of it, okay? And then we're going to do it on the other side too. Let's see. So for the other side, as you see that I've got one of my coils centered, when I go to put this one in, it's not going to agree with me too much. But that's okay. One thing you can do is you can just hold your coil over the posts and see right about where you're going to need to clip your wire at. And then I'll just go ahead and clip it to where it just slides right in the post and I don't have to worry about clipping any excess wire. So now that I've got that done, let's take a look. Oh, we still got a little bit of excess wire. It's just easier to do this because it keeps you from having to shove your clippers right behind this coil right here and potentially messing it up trying to clip the lead on this coil. Alright, that's the perfect size now. So once you get that in there, second verse same as the first on this side, just stick your screwdriver through, get it centered to about where you want it, and then tighten her down. Alright, that seems pretty good. If you ever feel like if you want to see how tight your screw is, you want them to be tight enough to where if you move this lead right here, the coil isn't going to move. So if you see I'm moving this lead and that coil isn't moving at all. If you move this lead and that coil does move, you need to tighten your post down more. But we're going to go ahead and clip that. Alright. And then what you're going to need, a pair of tweezers, or I prefer the ceramic tweezers because I can fire it while I'm pressing the button. I wouldn't recommend holding any kind of metal against these coils while pressing the button. But what you want to do is you just want to start firing it up and pulsing it out. So as you see, it's starting to get a little red hot here. We're just going to space these out. Let's see. So really your goal here as far as the coil build is you want it to heat in the center and then go out. So you want it to start to get red hot in the center and then go out. So as you can see, this one isn't ready yet. But the more you mash it together and kind of play with it, the more you'll be able to get it right where you want it. Another really good trick, which I can't explain the science behind, but if you brush your tweezers across, or your clippers or a screwdriver or anything like that, if you brush it across the coil, it has a tendency to make it heat pretty evenly, which that seems to have worked. So now that we've got them heating about evenly, there we go. Once you get that done, as you can see, now they're starting to, woo. There we go. Alright, so now we're just going to wick her up real quick. I'm using Cotton Bacon V2. It's one of my favorite cottons. It wicks real good. It holds juice. It seems to last a little bit longer than traditional Japanese organic as well. So it's been my cotton of choice for a little bit. But just want to take you a little piece, and I'll show you. You want enough to fill up the coil, but you don't want too much to where it's choking it. And a good way to test that is once you get your cotton wrapped out, or you get your cotton out and ready to go, if you slide it through there, and it feels like it's pulling too much on the coil, or it's moving the coil, you definitely don't want that much cotton in it. That's going to choke it out and it's not going to wick right. It's just going to burn on you. And if you have too less cotton, then it's not going to wick right either, and you're not going to get any vape off of it. So just make sure you got enough to where it fills up the coil and you can pull it on either side, but it's not moving your coil at all. So once you do that, I normally clip just enough to fit in the bottom of the deck. So what I'll do is I'll just take the cotton and hold it down by the bottom of the deck and then clip it off. Same on this side. And then on the other side we'll do the same thing. Alright. And past that, you just want to clip that wire clip that cotton evenly with the other cotton on the other side, and then I'll just take a screwdriver and just kind of push this cotton down in here. A particular technique that I like, that I feel like I get a little bit more airflow, I normally just tuck the cotton up under there, but I leave space under the coil. This seems to get a little bit more airflow to the coil itself, and I just feel like it's a better way to do it. Like if you can look up under your coil and see the center post like that, I think that's the best way to do it, honestly. Past that, once you get the cotton in there, if you want to mash down the cotton a little bit with your fingers, that'll get all the little stringy pieces out. But if you don't care about that, you're ready to wick it and vape it. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. So I'm going to be using some Cool Blue Raz by Zephyr. This has been one of my favorite premiums so far. It's made in Oregon. They've got some really good flavors there. They got like a strawberry cheesecake, or a strawberry shortcake, my bad. A strawberry shortcake, it's called nut cream, but it's like a coffee with a little bit of almond in it is what it tastes like to me. And then apple fritz is the other one, and it's an apple fritter. It's pretty good. But what you're going to want to do is just put a little bit of this juice on your cotton, enough to let it soak up real good. And then what you're going to do is draw burn it. So just go ahead and press the button and let it burn a little bit. And that's just getting a little bit of that cotton flavor off of there. This is for the people using Japanese organic. With cotton bacon, it doesn't tend to taste like cotton right off, but the Japanese will. So just make sure you dry burn it off. So just put juice on it a couple times and then burn it off. And past that, let's drip her one more time. And let's take a vape off of her and see how she does. Oh yeah, that's chucking, and that's how you do a basic